Well, it's been another week of extreme weather, and it continues today. The flooding here in North Texas has just been staggering. Since early this morning, we've covered water rescues, stalled cars, and traffic backups that went on for miles.
And did you see this water rescue with a police officer today? Here it is. It had everyone in our newsroom and people all across the country holding their breath as this police officer is hoisted up and over the fast-moving floodwater. We have more of this incredible video, so stay with us to see some more. We'll also tell you when this region is going to see a break from the rain.
Yeah, it's coming. Hard to believe that the rain is actually going to stop.
Right.
Waco, Texas, 25 days in a row.
With rain.
With measurable rain. That's a brand new record for them.
And it's been a busy Friday. We're so glad you're here with us. I'm Alex Wilson.
I'm Dave Schwartz. Well, a bit of breaking news in southeast Texas. The voluntary evacuation in the town of Wharton, which is southwest of Houston, has been upgraded to mandatory starting just 30 minutes from now at 5:30 local time. Now, the Colorado River, and that's the one in Texas, is still rising there, and some 300 homes could flood, affecting about 900 people.
We're also staying on top of developing weather with strong storms and heavy rain in a lot of states right now. So storm specialist Mike Bettis is here to join us from the lab.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. Thanks, Dave. We've got a lot of issues this evening. Right in the heartland, it's unfortunately a broken record. We've got severe thunderstorm watches. We have tornado watches as well. So the atmosphere is very ripe this afternoon and probably for the remainder of the day in this area. We have severe thunderstorm watch across Texas and New Mexico. This watch goes until 10 o'clock Mountain Time right here, highlighted in yellow. And then we have a tornado watch through portions of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then southwest Missouri. This goes until 7 o'clock tonight. We've had a couple of tornado warnings, no longer any of those in existence, but a lot of heavy rain falling in places that have had a lot of rain in the past month or so. So plenty of flash flood warnings out there. And a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, by the way. We've got one right in the middle of your screen near Fayetteville, Madison, and Washington counties. Severe thunderstorm warning here. We've got tons of rain. If we get to any tornadoes that form in some of these squall lines here, we could be looking for rain-wrapped tornadoes, hard to detect on radar, nearly impossible to find by storm spotters. Durham and Elkins, if you live in those towns, heads up, could be watching for some hail, some strong winds coming your way. 5:30 is the expiration on that. I'm going to show you this, and I'll back it up manually here so you can see that we had some velocity signatures on here. I'll back it up just a couple of frames. Look for red and green right next to each other, and watch this come up toward Bidville here. See that little pocket right in there? That possibly where the tornado was. Really hard to detect, but maybe just briefly on the radar, and now it looks like it has weakened significantly, maybe gusting out as it heads toward Durham here, so you may encounter some high winds here in the town of Durham. A bigger picture here you can see from, say, Joplin over towards Springfield. Heavy rain falling for you here. I-44 is going to be a problem for you, as well as I-49. McDonald and Newton counties, including Granby, Neosho, and Seneca, all under flash flood warning. Springfield, the heaviest of the storms, has now gone to our east, but more storms, by the way, had developed down to your south, so you're not out of the woods just yet. Then the bigger line comes in from the west. Tulsa, Wagner, and Rogers County back into Oklahoma under flash flood warnings. Also Osage and Creek counties. This does include the town of Tulsa. Plenty of weather still to go this evening, including this large area from West Texas through the Red River Valley, heads up Wichita Falls and Lawton, Oklahoma. Then most of Arkansas is going to see plenty of storms as well, maybe as far south as Shreveport. Keep in mind, all these storms could contain a lot of heavy rain, Alex, and we know in this part of the country, it is the last thing we need in our forecast.
You know it, because we have seen some amazing flooding. Let's show you some of it. A hovercraft was called in to help a driver stuck in floodwater in Saxe, northeast of Dallas. This is just one of the more than 200 water rescues that took place in the area, according to Texas EMA. So, Dave, you're looking at this person trapped on the roof of the car. Had to likely climb out through the window, get up on the roof, nowhere to go. Just, you're helpless. You're waiting for somebody to come get you. And luckily, these hovercrafts were able to get there, get this person who was stranded out of the water. But, others, they couldn't get them with the hovercraft. They had to use air support, helicopters, and actually hoist these people. We've got another incredible video coming up in just a few minutes with a look at that. But this person, very, very lucky.
Look at that. You know what's got me is the hovercraft. I mean, I've seen those big wind fan boats in the Everglades, but hovercraft, I've never seen that. used in that kind of way. Look at this. Texas almost storm-free. Isn't that great? But we do have some storms in New Mexico around Tucumcari that are going to be moving into the Texas Panhandle, and eventually that's going to get us. The main flood threat right now, the acute flood threat, is on the border of eastern Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas. Be careful. Back to you, Alex.
And our Dave Malkoff was in Dallas during the flash flood emergency, and he witnessed rescue crews in action.
This underpass was the scene of a massive rescue effort overnight. The most rescues throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area that they have seen in 5 years. I'm going to bring you over here so you can just listen for a second. Listen to this sound. You hear that? That's the sound of Dallas drying out after a wild night of swiftwater rescues and people trapped in cars. This underpass, we couldn't even see the vehicles here when we first got here in the overnight hours. Now you can see there's at least 6 vehicles, including a fancy Mercedes sports car, completely covered in water. We could not see them. And the real dangerous situation was happening with this vehicle, this brand new BMW with Sam on inside. He couldn't get out of his vehicle because there was so much water around him. He couldn't push the doors open, so he actually had to, looks like a window's broken here. He actually had to get out through one of these windows by breaking them, and also the sunroof is broken now. I can see that the sunlight has come up. He was very scared in there. He got out. Didn't even have any pants on. He just had shorts. He didn't have any shoes because he lost it in all of this water. He had to go over to the convenience store and call whoever he could. His cousin eventually picked him up. This was a terrible night for the city of Dallas, but luckily the Office of Emergency Management has told us that there were no casualties in this so far, and there was no major property damage. Except for these cars, they will all be heading to the junkyard. In Dallas, I'm Dave Malkoff from the Weather Channel. Back to you.
And we have a look at some more of that amazing rescue of the police officer next. We'll show you how bad the flooding was and how quickly it got out of control in North Texas last night.
Also, why other parts of the state didn't get the same type of flooding like we saw here.
Lennox makes the most energy-efficient system you can find, which means the appliance you use the most will also save you the most. Save up to $1,700 on qualifying systems, now through June 12th.
For more information, contact your local Lennox dealer.
Attention, did you or anyone in your household work around asbestos-containing gaskets and packing? The Garlock bankruptcy may affect your rights even if you do not presently have an asbestos-related disease. Garlock's products were used in industrial and maritime settings where steam, hot liquid, or acid moved in pipes. Certain personal injury claims must be filed by October 6, 2015. You may have a right to vote on Garlock's plan to reorganize and pay claims. Call 844-GARLOCK or go to garlocknotice.com.
I'm home. Here's to all the reasons you suit up every day. Here's to being a dad. Happy Father's Day from Men's Warehouse.
No artificial flavors, colors, sweeteners, preservatives, and no artificial smiles. Because clean dressings taste better.
Get ready for the passion, the pageantry, the drama. The NCAA Golf Championships. Men's Individual Championship Monday with Team Championship Tuesday and Wednesday on Golf Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, low 75, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. High 86, chance of rain 30%. Saturday night, partly to mostly cloudy, low 75, winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
In the Woods, new season June 7th on the Weather Channel.
Beautiful job. I knew you had it in you, and it was easy because of what I have in me. You know, the color-rich technology and all-climate protection package. It penetrates deep for long-lasting protection and beauty. And I'm the only one who's got it.
Olympic Elite, for exceptional beauty and protection that lasts. Olympic, simply done. Exclusively at Lowe's. Stop by Lowe's and save $5 per gallon on Olympic's best paints and stains. Just another way Olympic makes it easy every step of the way.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One A Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. A government study reports thousands of workers have been diagnosed with asbestos-related mesothelioma. To compensate those affected, asbestos trusts have been established with $30 billion in initial funding. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court. Act now. Call 1-800-950-MESO for a free consultation. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available. Then call us. Mesothelioma. Don't fight it alone.
Walmart's low prices every day. It's not just about having more savings. It's about having more fun. Great get-togethers start with low prices you can trust every day.
Now, a look at that amazing rescue video you just have to see. This police officer was trapped. There was rushing water getting higher and higher around him. This was the scene in Sachse, Texas this morning. Sachse is northeast of Dallas, and remember, they had that night of very heavy rainfall.
Now, that police officer was sitting at a high point, or what he thought was a high point, and he was blocking traffic from going through the flooding waters when the water actually rose on him. Now, his SUV flooded out and was stranded less than a mile away from a team performing another water rescue.
Yeah, I mean, a Texas Department of Public Safety helicopter dropped that line, and that line, he got a hold of it. It lifted him high and away from the floodwater, but he actually had to dangle for several miles before they were able to find an open field where he could safely be lowered.
I would just close my eyes real tight. You know, this helicopter was actually the third attempt to rescue this guy. What you don't see is a failed attempt by a hovercraft that got stuck in the trees. Then a big fire truck tried, but it couldn't make it. So then you see the third attempt with the helicopter, and there he is on his way to high ground, which was a couple miles away, right?
Right. I mean, you're holding on for a while. North Texas wasn't the only place with that terrifying flash flooding. We have video from Lawton, Oklahoma, where water from a nearby creek poured into neighborhoods, went into homes and cars, and several streets were underwater. Parts of the city, you just couldn't get to them for a time.
No, that was one of the main drags here, Sheridan Road. If you were with us yesterday, you saw all this happening live right here on the Weather Channel. We saw cars and trucks stall out, water rescues, all right here on Sheridan Road. That's right near Fort Sill in Lawton, Oklahoma, southwest of Oklahoma City.
And you know, Oklahoma's News Channel 4 always does a great job in severe weather. They provided us with some of those amazing shots yesterday. Reporter Kristen Shanahan found it caught many people off guard.
Well, I mean, this all surprised me too, because it went from like not being anything like this, and then all of a sudden it was dramatic.
Numerous vehicles got stuck here on Sheridan Road.
You can see right here where the water started coming in over the hood.
Yeah.
And pretty sure that's when he decided to give out on me. So
Shane Reed was one of those who didn't make it through.
and we started seeing other vehicles, but they were plowing through it. So that's why I was like, okay, if someone who has my size vehicle can do this, so can I. But I guess I'm the exception, so I didn't make it.
But the heavy rain didn't stop soldiers from Fort Sill from jumping in to help, hook, line, and sinker.
So what we're supposed to do as soldiers is we're supposed to help other people. You know, we put them before us. So it's only the right thing to do.
Across town, flooding forced this family out of their home.
I was concerned more for the kids than anything because I don't know just how bad it's going to get and how much going to go in the house. We didn't know that this was a flood zone. Now my car is all drowned.
While they stood in the rain, storms knocked out power in the city. A troublesome and emotional day for dozens of people caught in May's fury. In Lawton, Kristen Shanahan, News Channel 4.
You know, how ironic is it that it's in Texas, it is Hurricane Awareness Week. Hurricane Awareness. And how do people die most often in hurricanes? Not on the coast.
Right, but by the
Inland flooding. And it's happening. So I guess we're getting exposed to what we need to if a hurricane does hit us.
And to be prepared,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, coming up, the latest from Central Texas, where the cleanup continues after a wall of water slammed into dozens of people's homes.
We've seen helicopters used today for water rescues and with live TV news and traffic shots, but this is a little different. A helicopter was used to dry the field at Dallas Baptist University ahead of tonight's NCAA Dallas regional game. Workers also had to clear mud, debris, and water off of that field. So a lot of work, just using, good old elbow grease and a helicopter.
Bridgestone is changing the game in tire performance.
So Ken Jeong can save gas on his trip to Vegas.
Remember, what happens in Vegas may haunt you forever. Okay, let's go.
These new Bridgestone Ecopia Plus tires are fuel efficient and engineered to give you 20 extra miles per tank.
I usually stop here to fill up, but not today. Later, gas clowns!
Was that too harsh?
Because it felt great.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Call about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
And just like that, the snow is gone. And off you go. And every frozen second spent willing this day to come is just a warm, fading memory.
I take these out to put in Dr. Scholl's Active Series insoles. They help reduce wear and tear on my legs because they have triple zone protection and reduce shock by 40%. So I feel like I'm ready to take on anything.
What's with the sash?
Oh, I'm a blast scout.
What are all these for?
Yeah, they're all for different things. This one's for eating a blast.
Oh, cool.
This one's for getting someone to buy me a blast.
What's that one for?
That one's covering up a hole.
Tons of surprising Master Blast flavor combos you're sure to love. This is how you Sonic.
Every backyard comes together around a grill and Kingsford charcoal. Gather round.
Survival expert Creek Stewart takes me and my buddy Sam Champion out into the woods with one objective: to stay alive.
Hey Jim, this thing's got an espresso machine. It's awesome.
Sam and Jim in the Woods, next Friday morning on AMHQ.
Champion, this is not camping.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
One look at that Red Baron pizza, and you're gonna love it from the first bite to the last. Because a perfect pizza requires a perfect crust. The sauce commands your attention. The cheese begs you to savor every bite. The pepperoni declares you have reached pizza nirvana. And that last slice?
What's it worth to you?
A perfect crust means a better pizza. Red Baron, love at first bite. The authentic taste of a brick oven pizza. Now available from Red Baron.
Fat Guys in the Woods. New season June 7th on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, low 75, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 86, chance of rain 30%. Saturday night, partly to mostly cloudy, low 75, winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Are you kidding us? It's a pretty devastating scenario.
Homes have been completely wiped off of the map.
Flattened houses and buildings. I mean, that's just devastating.
We've been through bad things before. We've been through floods before. Never been through one like this.
Well, May has been one for the record books in Oklahoma and Texas, and it is still not over because flooding continues today across the Lone Star State.
This as many begin to clean up catastrophic flooding from earlier this week. And this has been going on for about a month and a half now. Let's go live to Jay Gray. He's in Wimberley, Texas, one of the hardest hit areas. Jay, what do you have for us?
Hey, Dave, Alex, you know, we talk about the physical damage here, but what you guys bring up is very important as well. Just the psychological damage of all this rain that keeps coming and coming. It's really starting to wear on a lot of people here dealing with all of this. We had more rain last night. That's making it even more difficult for the search and recovery teams as they work through miles of debris.
Mother Nature's attack has been relentless. Oh, no! The scope and intensity, overwhelming. It's been the wettest May ever in Texas. According to the National Weather Service in Fort Worth, 35 trillion gallons of water have been dumped on the state, and there's been at least 4 inches of rain somewhere in Texas for 23 straight days. Those are the numbers. This is the reality. Historic flooding in Dallas, Houston, the Hill Country. Water pouring into places it's never been before, swallowing communities, ripping apart homes and lives. It's become a somber ritual. Hundreds gathering each day at the First Baptist Church in Wimberley, now a command center, as rescue teams and more than 2,000 volunteers continue to search for those still missing.
We're going to have up to 28 to 30 teams in the field throughout the day over a large margin of the river.
Teams.
You got an all-wheel drive though? Yeah, let's definitely take yours.
Working through mountains of debris, wet and rugged terrain.
There's so much ground to cover. It seems impossible, but everybody's taking it one step at a time.
Hopeful their next step will lead them to a survivor.
At this point, we're still praying and hoping for the fact that we'll find somebody still breathing out there. This has not turned into a recovery mission yet.
Though most here seem to understand, time is running out.
Yeah, you know, there really is a sense of urgency, and part of the push is the forecast. I know you've been talking about it, but more rain supposed to come through this area through the weekend, so they may not get a break until next week. Dave, Alex?
But at least we get a break, Jay, huh? Now the river behind you, that's the Blanco River. How did that do? Did that remain in its banks during last night's flooding rains?
It did, though. We saw it come up just a little bit. And you need to know, when you look at the Blanco River here, it's usually a trickle. It's nothing like this. It's still running very quickly. There's still a lot of water. Usually you can walk, drive across, do whatever you'd like to do. Take your dog for a walk, and maybe it'll get a sip of water at some point there. It's a very different situation here and across Texas right now.
Right, you know, and a sense of urgency, you said, with those rescuers. I'm sure they're tired at this point, but at the same time, I bet everybody you talk to is saying, you know, we got to keep going.
You know what? It's, Alex, been a scenario where sometimes people have to step in and say, take a break. We need you at full speed, and we need you to get some rest. Get 3 or 4 hours, and some guys just in their trucks trying to get some sleep or going, coming back. Yeah. What's helped is the tremendous amount of volunteers, more than 2,000 that are coming in waves here from all over. And when you think of that, this is such a small community. They've got to get in here. It's been amazing to see.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jay. We appreciate your reports this week. We'll be right back.
Sometimes the passage from boy to man flows directly through the oil aisle at the local AutoZone. And with this change of oil, Rick's engine wasn't the only thing that was running a bit cooler. It's called The Zone, and we'll help get you there.
Never a good day for a bad battery. Get a Duralast battery, only at AutoZone.
It starts with a subtle wave, then builds into soft fingers, lifting sails and spirits. Nothing makes us feel more alive than a summer breeze, drifting with us on the water, chasing us through the trees, and playing along the whole day. In the Great Lakes Bay region, the summer breeze is blowing. Where it's headed is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
I went to Ancestry.com, but I thought, I'm not going to make it very far. I knew my parents and my grandparents, and then it happened. I got a leaf. When I clicked on it, I could actually see my grandfather's draft card from World War I and his U.S. Census from 1910, and another member's tree that had my great-grandparents and their parents and everything. And it all started with my first leaf.
Who will you discover at Ancestry.com?
I'm outside. Where are you? I'm right here. I'm in the Buick. I don't see a Buick. Oh, got it.
Encore, the expectation-shattering crossover from Buick.
Wow.
During the Buick Spring Sales Event, pay no interest for 5 years, plus get $750 purchase bonus cash on the 2015 Encore.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow.
Joseph A. Bank presents the Summer Preview Sale. 70% off all signature suits, sport coats, and blazers. Plus 60% off all short sleeve sport shirts, polos, and shorts. Sale ends Sunday. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
If you're running a business, LegalZoom has your back. Over the last 10 years, we've helped 1 million business owners get started. Visit LegalZoom today for the legal help you need to start and run your business. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Get ready for the passion, the pageantry, the drama. The NCAA Golf Championships. Men's Individual Championship Monday with Team Championship Tuesday and Wednesday on Golf Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, low 75, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, high 86, chance of rain 30%. Saturday night, partly to mostly cloudy, low 75, winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.